Hello everyone, and welcome back to Chaos Counseling. And today we're going to be doing a one-off stream with the remake of Panzer Dragoon. This game's kind of, how do I put this? I can't say it was important to my childhood per se, but this is a game that I have been curious about for about 30 years at this point. Because back in the mid to late 90s, I don't 100% remember when this game came out originally for the Sega Saturn. I was in a electronics store. I don't remember if it was Media Play or Circuit City. I just know it's a now defunct store. I saw a video game display that was showing the cutscenes and the gameplay footage from this game. And at the time, as a small child, video gaming was just 2D platformers. That's all I knew. That's all that or side-scrolling beat-em-ups. So the idea of heck, when I first heard of Pokemon, I actually thought it was a side-scrolling platformer. So actually playing that game blew me away, but seeing something like this in its 3D graphics with its 3D, gameplay engine, it was something that just never went away. It's always just been in the back of my mind for 30 years, give or take, and I never knew what the game was. Well, a couple weeks ago, I was watching a guy's video on, I believe it was a retrospective on the Mega Man Zero series, and he made an offhanded joke comparing something in it to this game, showed like a 2-second clip of it, and I'm like, wait, what the fuck? And finally, just like that, I had the name of this game. And as luck would have it, this game got a remake in 2020. And while from everything I've read about this game, the remake is not as good as the original. It doesn't capture the same feel as it. But I don't have a Sega Saturn, and I'm not very good at getting emulation to work, so here we are. I am curious if maybe the reason why the remake didn't get the same level of love as the original is because, from what I've read, this game's only an hour long if you know what you're doing, because it's a Star Fox style flying shooting game. If the reason why this modern remake didn't get as good reviews has more to do with the fact that the gaming landscape has shifted, but I don't know. Like I said, I only grew up seeing it once, so I'm just very grateful for this chance to finally see what this is like. And I'm not very good at Star Fox games, so I'm going to be playing on easy. Mostly just because I want to see as much of this game as I can with you today. Because, as kind of I said in the description, as I said on a lot of my posts, this video, in its own way, was 30 years ago. And I do highly recommend you look up the original Sega Saturn graphics and watching this opening cutscene as it was in the original engine, just to really see just kind of how impressive things were back then, I do know one criticism about this that I read was that the more polished graphics in these cutscenes don't have the same charm. And honestly, I think that's fair. There is something about the presentation in older games due to the limitations of the consoles at the time that give them a truly unique charm to them that can't be recreated in modern consoles. Especially since, well, that guy's dead. Especially since there's something about the way, because I feel like it's trying to recapture the movement of the old Sega Saturn, but it doesn't look as polished when it's polished as it did when it in those old janky consoles. Where did the third guy go? He said there were 3 of us. One guy got taken out, and yeah, where'd the third guy go? But yeah, again, this opening cutscene is the thing that I saw that really stuck in my brain. Because I remember thinking as a kid, oh, you started off the game off riding on Lizardback, and that was part of the gameplay, and then you transitioned into... Yeah. Oh, wow. Because, yeah, like I said, I watched the original Sega Saturn one just to confirm to my brain it was the thing from my memory, but I did not watch this update because I wanted to go into this as raw as I could. What's wrong, little Gallimimus? I'm curious. It's like, dude, why did you jump off your mount? Wouldn't it have been oh, then again, maybe the mount was just terrified. I don't know. Because, yeah, this big boss monster is another thing that always stayed in my memory from childhood, albeit my memory as a kid, it was just a big scorpion, not this is. Again, like I said, I rewatched the original Sega Saturn, and yeah, it like that, even in the more janky graphics. Oh, you shot the crossbow, douchebag. Well, I'm dead. Huh? How did I get from there to here, or... yeah, whatever. Video games. Surprised that the other dragon flew off, since it's like, yeah, you shot the rider, but the dragon itself, or the wyvern itself, is still alive. I think that would be the more important thing to take out. There, I was about to say it was interesting that there was no I was about to say it was interesting that there wasn't any subtitles and it was all being told visually, but then they put the subtitles on. But now that is something that I do remember reading in, like, the reviews, like, specifically being mentioned, that the sound audio, especially there with the dragon's surprise in English, was not done as well in the remake. Like, apparently in the original Sega Saturn, the noise it made was way more gut-wrenching and tragic. Which... yes, I watched the Sega Saturn one, but I can't really call the memory of what that sounded like to my brain offhand. Oh. Oh, okay, there's the other guy. He just stayed behind. Okay. I didn't watch the full Sega Saturn cutscene. I didn't know that. Yeah, whatever. But yeah, I don't recall what the sounds like enough to really comment on the matter. Episode 1, Pilot. Yeah, I like the dragon's design in that it's a unique design, and I think it's very creative. I don't know how... I don't know if it's like something that I really love, you know? Does that make sense? Like, I think it's a good design, but I'm not in love with it. But because it's so unique, I wouldn't change anything about it. Buttons change the camera's direction. Long and shoulder buttons do that too. Okay, no, I can charge up the shots. Lock on. Okay, so it seems 2 of the buttons shoot, and then 2 change what direction I'm facing. This is weird. Because, I mean, I grew up playing like Star Fox 64, for example. This game has way less options than Star Fox 64. It's like Star Fox 64, for example, had, you know, like boost, slow down, you know, shoot bombs and whatnot. So I'm not unfamiliar with this type of gameplay, albeit it has been some time since I've played Star Fox 64, so I'm definitely not practice with it. I like the music though. Again, just the fact that you could look around 360 degrees back in the 90s in an on-rails flying game like this, that is probably very impressive. Heck, the visuals alone for this game, just seeing it, you know, in a display back in the 90s was enough to make sure that this game stayed with me for 30 years, so yeah, I definitely can understand why this game was so important to kids. Heck, even adults who played it back when the game was new. Ow. I got more noise from my controller. Surprise and anguish this morning. I bet the dragon's thinking, why'd I get stuck with this loser riding me? This was just life shit. Okay, I will say one downside I do have with, you know, this more dynamic moving camera. I'm never 100% sure where I reside spatially and where I'm going to end up with things around me, you know? So at least with something like Star Fox 64, you're almost always just going straight forward. So you have complete spatial awareness of where everything's supposed to reside, you know? I want to be clear. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with, you know, I guess for lack of a better word, experimenting like this, but it is something that I do think is technically could be viewed as a downside in terms of player to, game to player feedback, And it's definitely an issue you run into when you make a game like this, where it's like, okay, should we just do, keep it simple, to make sure that the game functions exactly as it should, but run the risk of potentially not standing out from the competition, or should we try something like this, but then run the risk of, like I said, the players not being 100% sure where, they reside spatially, And I don't think either's the right answer. It's just if you do the latter, it's a lot harder for the payoff to be good. And, be good and not frustrating. If that makes sense. Definitely say, okay, I just realized I'm basically on rails at this point. I can't, I'm like, everyone's waiting. I'm not actually affecting where I reside spatially anymore. Like, other than being able to flip the camera around to, watch the boat or whatever, I'm not in control of where I'm flying, so I'm on rails. Not outright. Yeah, I'm in control again now, but at least in that particular game, I can control where I was at. I love that I'm taking on this, battleship with basically a handgun. But yeah, just also playing this reminds me, definitely one downside about Star Fox games like this, since, you have to charge your attack by holding the shoot button. It does mean in order to rapid fire in boss fights that don't have as many lock-on targets, or like in some Star Fox bosses, nothing you can lock onto. You have to just keep smashing that A button or X button or whatever button. What's that, the Konami code? And like I said, from what I've seen, this game can be beaten in an hour. I don't know how many episodes there are in it, though, so we'll see. I know I've got a radar, but fuck, I could not see where half of those things were coming from. definitely sticking with the trigger buttons in terms of adjusting the... Like the visual design of the levels. I mean, I know they do kind of look a little samey, and like I said, I only watched a wee bit of gameplay and the opening cutscene just to reconfirm that this was the game I was remembering from childhood, but I didn't. Yeah, I didn't watch very much of the beyond that. I don't think I killed any of those beetles or centipedes or whatever. Prototype dragon. Okay, if I'm already at this boss fight, this would not be a long level. Again, unless of course it's like a mid-boss fight, which fair enough. Oh jeez, I did not see that through the dust. Nope, gotta go down. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, you know, when I mentioned that it's like, at least something like Star Fox 64, you know, the camera was always behind him. Like, that's technically not true. So Star Fox 64 would have occasional boss fights, or levels that would be in all-range mode, which you could, you know, go, fly around in full 3D. So, okay, I need to take back that criticism, albeit I do feel once again Star Fox 64 can handle its 3D segments a little better than looking around here, because I don't like the fact that I only can control my elevation when I'm looking straight forward. When I'm shooting at the side or shooting at behind, I'm fixed in one spot. All I can do is aim. Meaning that I either have to shoot down the bullets, which, I mean, I don't in of itself have a problem with that, but I don't know. Just some of the things that have been getting shot at me don't I don't often see how I can shoot them down, you know? Yeah, that was a short level, even compared to the first one, I feel. Scissor. Interesting name for an achievement. Yeah, I'm just going to quickly look up how many episodes there are. Okay, and just while I look this up, this yeah, this game came out originally in 1995, so I would have been 4 when this game came out. Heck, depending on when it came out, I might have been younger, since there are 7 episodes, but then there's an episode 0, whatever that means. Oh, okay. Episode 0 is something that I can access on that kind of, I think that code that popped up on screen in that one loading screen, that's them telling you in-game how you can access that secret chapter by entering that code. Traditional, typical video game progression, you know. What was once a boss fight in one level is now just a standard enemy in another. Bye. Now, can I just say again, can we stop and appreciate the music in this game? I also realized, I think another reason why this stood out so heavily in my memory when I was a child is because, sure, I had played Star Fox 64 and really liked it, but in Star Fox 64, you're just flying a boring spaceship. But, you know, dragon-loving young me was like, I want to play the game where you get to ride on a dragon. In fact, there was, I remember once in an arcade, it was a Galaga-style shooter, I think. I don't know. I haven't really played that much Galaga, so I could be remembering. I could be mixing up my shooters. But it was a Galaga-type shooter, except instead of a spaceship, you could choose between a one-headed, two-headed, and three-headed dragon as your playable, you know, unit. And I'm like, that was always cooler to me. I remember also as a kid, because I was trying to unlock, because I wanted to unlock the multiplayer bonuses in Star Fox 64, like unlocking the Landmaster, just unlocking all the other stuff, just replaying the first level in particular in Star Fox 64 ad nauseum until I memorize the location of every enemy so I can shoot them all down. And because like in Star Fox 64, the more enemies that you're able to take out at the same time, the bigger points you got. So it's like, hey, but yeah, just basically having to study the fucking game in order to unlock, you know, get the medals on the level. Man, to be, you know, to have that kind of free time. Heck. Well, I mean, yeah, especially as a kid, you know, if your parents didn't have a good amount of money, or, you know, your parents were like, no, we're not going to buy you a new video game, you know, every week or every month or whatever. It's like, hey, you gotta enjoy the games that you have, which I think is definitely the better approach to do. You have got to play the fuck out of them because it's what you got. And it's definitely part of the reason why some of my favorite games as a kid, especially on the GameCube era, like Phantasy Star Online 1 and 2, I couldn't access its online features, but I played the hell out of that game. Despite the fact that without online features, the game's pretty bland and repetitive. It's pretty bland and repetitive, and like, I can't believe I played that game as much as I did, because it's not amazing by any stretch of the imagination. But it's like, I played it so much because it was a game that Sunshine and I could, like, play a story mode together in cooperative mode, so that's the main reason why Phantasy Star Online 1 and 2 is one that I do still remember somewhat fondly. Actually, I do genuinely regret, because we actually did get our hands on Phantasy Star Online 3, which was like the card battling game. We didn't keep it very long because it was boring. Yeah, it was boring, but it's a rare game. And I think we could have sold it now for way more than we would have gotten for the pitiful ass store credit that we sold it for back in the day. Actually, there are a lot of games that I sold for store credit just to afford new video games that I really wish I had done that. It's like, for example, the big one for me was I had a copy of Digimon Rumble Arena 2 for the GameCube. And it's a game I genuinely liked, but because it was arguably just Smash Bros, but a little funkier, I just decided, I'm good, and sold it. And I regret it to this day because, like, specifically a GameCube copy goes for a couple $100 now. Because video game preservation is not what it should be. Because too many people, especially thanks to, you know, games that are all about the online multiplayer, like, you know, the Modern Warfare games, Call of Duty, Halo, etc. Those are games that are all about, well, play the game and then you move on to the next one because the community moves on with it as well. See, that's why I'm not the biggest fan of games that the sole purpose is online multiplayer. Because, you know, I played Splatoon 2, liked it quite a bit, but I have not bought Splatoon 3, and I don't know if I ever will, because I completely missed being able to play the first Splatoon game online with friends. Because, I don't know, I was busy doing other stuff, so buying Splatoon the first Splatoon was never a priority for me. And now that Splatoon 3 is out, for all I know, Splatoon 2 is just... And again, I know that's not a true universal thing, because I know, like, for example, I know some of my friends still play Halo Reach online, because a lot of them say that Halo Reach has the best mechanics for online multiplayer. Halo, you know, I only ever played Halo 3, Reach, and 4 online. I could agree, it was the best of those three that I played. But I know my Xbox is no longer compatible with our internet, so that's not a game I can still play. But I also know that is sometimes the exception. I wonder what the credits are actually for. But yeah, I don't know. Again, it is really interesting to be playing a game on a modern console that's, you know, tallying. And so this game was mostly distributed digitally, but there were a handful. They did kind of like, there was that limited release of physical copies of this. And I don't know, since I like owning physical copies, and despite the fact that this is the first time I'm playing this game, oh my god. Oh shit. Sorry, my foot got caught in the cord and I accidentally pulled it out. But it looks like everything's okay. But again, just this game's memory in the back of my brain is kind of important to me. I tracked down a physical copy of the PlayStation 4 version because I was able to find it relatively cheaply. Because, I mean, I'm sure many people have looked up how much these games that get limited releases on modern hardware, like, you know, for Switch, PlayStation, etc. And I've been like, holy cow, that game, that's expensive. Because, like, the big one for me is I bought the Final Fantasy Pixel Remasters on Steam, but then I saw, wait, it was on the Switch? So I quickly looked up how much the Switch version was, and it was over $100. Which, I mean, to be fair, to get all the Pixel Remasters on Steam wasn't necessarily cheap either, but, I mean, I got them on a sale, so it was cheaper than that. Albeit it's like, dang it, I did wish I got it on the Switch because I have a soft spot for some of the early Final Fantasy games, but necessarily sitting down and, you know, playing through them, it's something I have a hard time doing because it's old and not as stimulating. But if it's something I can take on the go, I can usually, you know, handle it better, you know, because I bought, like I said, I bought the Pixel Remaster, played through 5 because that's when I tried the Game Boy Advance version as a kid, never finished, so it's like, I gotta play through it all the way. I've been meaning to get through 6 since I often hear it's the best Final Fantasy game. And then I tried to play through 4 since I bought the 3D version on the DS, or 3DS or whatever, and I'm told that version's like stupid hard. I'm like, okay, let me try the Pixel Remaster and see if I can actually beat it, since it's not going to be as difficult as the version I played, and I found it quite dull. So I never beat that one. And then I only got 2 because it was part of the bundle. I've never beaten 2, although I did own it back on the Game Boy Advance, and I hate that game. It has some things I do kind of enjoy about it, and the mechanics of leveling up in it could have been cool and unique, but as a whole, I just want nothing to do with that game. And then I was kind of saving 1 and 3 as, hey, those games have bland protagonists, plus I've beaten both of them. It's like I've beaten Final Fantasy 1 in its in the Game Boy Advance, the Dawn of Souls version of the game, and I've beaten that one several times. And I've beaten Final Fantasy 3 with the 3D remake a couple times too. So I was saving those as like, oh, maybe I could take edgelord through these. And I know that the main character in Final Fantasy V technically has a character and a personality, but I also thought it still might be fun to take edgelord through Final Fantasy V and just kind of, since Barst's personality in Final Fantasy V is minimal, thought I could make that work. Just for no other reason than the final villain of Final Fantasy V, X-Death, is the spirit of tree. So it's like, nature's come back to kill edgelord. I thought that would just be really funny. But we'll see. We'll get there. I think it's just I've come across more games I'd rather take edgelord through. Like, as of right now, like active polls I have going right now, you know, include Metroid Prime, since, you know, Samus doesn't talk in that game, so I can make that work. Metroid Prime, Pikmin 4. I've been wanting to take edgelord through a Zelda game from the get-go, and it looks like that might end up happening because I think Twilight Princess is leading the poll. need to double check where you're at this point in time, you know? And then, game that I've considered... Oh, hello, Muffin Boy! How's it going? Yeah, so... Anyway, first of all, how are you, Muffin? I haven't had... You haven't been able to join in a stream for a while, just because I know that I don't always stream at times that work for you. I know that a lot of people who used to tune into my streams frequently haven't been able to, you know, make it. It's like, I know that I miss seeing Endangered in the streams, but they've told me that they can't really tune in on weekend mornings. It's their job. But unfortunately, because of my job, I can't stream weekday nights anymore. Fuck me, Freddy. But yeah, so this game is a remake of a Sega Saturn game that was released in 1995. And like I explained at the beginning of the video, this was a game that I saw gameplay footage of when I was like 4 years old. And it has always stood in the back of my mind because of just how cool I thought it looked as a kid. But I never knew what the game was. No, I just happened to figure out what it was just a few weeks ago and track down a copy of this remake. And I'm like, okay, I've got to experience this, you know, vague childhood memory of mine on camera with you guys. This, again, well, I've had this is hard. This fight is really hard. I can't even imagine what it would be like if I was playing it on the harder difficulties. Okay, hold on real quick. Doing well. I've been busy with school, and also I've been missing the streams, mostly because I've been busy. Yeah, I get that. It's way too late for me to watch. Yeah, no, I understand that. Again, I know we're in completely different time zones. Like I said, I know that, sadly, my streaming schedule's doesn't work for a lot of people who used to frequent my life. Damn it. Okay, yeah, I know I've said it a few times, but I do really need to bring this up. Again, if this is like a true, like, point-for-point remaster of the Sega Saturn game, with camera angles and everything, they were too ambitious with their camera. Like, I am really struggling to fully place where I reside spatially compared to the projectiles. Let's see. But right now I'm tired and eating a late lunch after meeting my study buddy and then doing exercise right after. But I've lots of passion projects recently, so that's cool. That's good to hear. Actually, ironically, you know, I was complaining before about how I couldn't move my positioning from behind. So far, it's like I'd rather him stay behind me because I can more easily shoot his projectiles down behind me than I'm doing dodging when he throws his fucking wing at me. Fucking Christ. Like I said, he throws his fucking wing at me. Oh, finally killed one of his wings. Oh, that's a laser. Oh, fuck, that's a multi-laser. That's a fuck you up your multi-fold ass. Okay, I hope you feel bad. And then die. And then feel bad some more. Okay, you're really stretching your death out, man. No one likes a drama queen. Oh. Hey, fuck bucket. Please don't make me fight it on the same HP bar. My HP bar is almost... Oh, that's pretty. And I just realized the Dragon has jet contrails on its wings. Where's that coming from? Thank you for not being a sadistic cocksucker game. Sharks with laser eyes. I want sharks with lasers on their heads. That was a terrible impression, but come on, sharks with laser eyes, that just screams something that a Bond villain would have. But yeah. I'll read your message in a second. I quickly wanted to check. That's right. So as of right now, so yeah, if you guys want to vote, I've got 2 polls going right now. Let's see, I'm currently doing a reanimated project where essentially I get a piece of animated episode and I reanimate it my way. Nice. People who are dying, being dramatic, can either be funny or annoying. Oh, that's cool. But yeah, depending on when I finish this game, I might do a second stream right after starting the next game for do a full stream of, which as of right now, the game that's winning is Super Mario RPG. But yeah, if you guys haven't voted on that and would like to, yeah, you have until the end of this stream probably to vote on if you want to play something else. But yeah, right now the current edgelord poll, which also go ahead and vote on that if you haven't already. It's currently tied between Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess and Legend Arceus, which I have wanted to take edgelord through both a Zelda game and a Pokemon game for some time. And I'm kind of looking forward to when I do get into a Pokemon game, because I can do what Abby and I were doing in our Brilliant Diamond playthrough, Pokemon after people in Discord and such, as well as just friends and such. One other downside about this game versus a Star Fox game is the health you have at the start. That's what you have to beat this game, this level and the boss on. Dragon Rhombus, fuck! So big. What the fuck? I can't see the damn bullets flying at me. I have been okay. Just okay. Yeah. I've been better in some regards, and let's just say something kind of, like, it could have been worse. But yeah, something bad happened at work yesterday that's kind of bumming me out. I mean, it could have been worse, but it was also still really bad. One of the foremen, so those who don't know, I work construction. One of the foremen at my company, he's alive, and he's doing okay, but he got crushed between trench wall and a piece of equipment yesterday, and he shattered his pelvis. So he's going to be out of work for some time now. And yeah, it's just been kind of jarring to me since the task he was doing when he got crushed, I was doing that exact task, or at least that type of work back in September, so it was very, I don't know, come to grips with how, come to grips with mortality in a sense. I really can't get over how short some of these levels actually are, which, don't get me wrong, just given how difficult it's becoming to dodge these attacks, I'm grateful they're not long, because I don't know if I can beat them with the help I have, available to me. But to say the very least, it also really drove home how much it's like I don't want to keep working construction. I really need to find a way out. Thankfully, Abby is almost done with school, so I'm hoping that once she finishes, that will help them. Once she gets a better job, that'll alleviate some of the financial stress that I'm under, so I can take some time to find something better than this dangerous to do. Oh shit! I did not see those. Sorry, I was just paying attention to the big boy. Oh, we're not done. We're not done. This is multi-phase. This is multi-phase boss fight. This is multi-phase boss fight. Fuck. Oh, it's got one weak point. Just one. Crap. It's like Independence Day in here. Don't ever be like a Michael Bay movie. Okay, just don't do it. Wait, Independence Day wasn't Michael Bay. I'm thinking of Armageddon. My Independence Day, that was. I don't remember who made Independence Day, but yeah, don't be like that. Try to hear about that. It's better. That well either. I'm keeping my chin up, trying to stay hopeful and positive. I'm the same way. It's like, things aren't going great, but just gotta think about what is important and basically just, you gotta find a reason to want to keep going, Does look like the next game I will be streaming after this will be Super Mario RPG, which I don't mind. As I've made very clear, Paper Mario was one of my absolute favorite, at least the first two are some of my absolute favorite games ever. And as they are spiritual sequels to Mario RPG, I'm excited to play through it. It's also funny because it's going to be the first time that I'll be streaming the game about the same time that Flaze is also streaming it, because Flaze is playing Mario RPG on her channel. That being said, I don't know how far she is through the game, because A, she usually streams when I can't watch, sadly, and B, I don't want to get spoilers on Super Mario RPG before I get to play it. Plus, she usually has time as well as patience for much longer streams than I do. I mean, honestly, yes, it is a time thing for me as well, but I admit, another reason why I usually only do 2-hour streams and more longer streams than that being a rarity for me is that's usually all I have the attention span for. Whereas Flaze is much better about going long and hard, Good for her. Yep. No, I agree. The one downside that we're both worried about is, just jobs being difficult in general, we're worried we're gonna have to relocate for her to find work, which neither one of us really... Well, we don't know if that's something we really want or absolutely don't want, but it's something we will... Okay, I saw myself and thought I was the enemy. Dark Dragon. But at the same time, Abby's been going through school for so long, it would be foolish to not do whatever it could take to get her a job in the industry that she's pursuing, you know? Okay, so I simultaneously really like this level and also really dislike this level because it looks really cool as a post-apocalyptic dystopian ruin, but it's really fucking samey. This is definitely the level where I'm losing things just in the background. Like, Jesus fucking Christ. Like, this is without question. I'm going to miss more enemies. Like, when I get the total at the end, it's going to be like, you missed most of the enemies, dum-dum. But that's because, even with the radar, I genuinely can't see them half the time. And I definitely can't really see... Fuck! I definitely can't see the projectiles. Game quieter, got it. Let's see. Which one is it? That one. Okay. Yeah. Okay. How's that? Yeah, I hope the boss comes soon, because my HP is so low right now that I don't know if I'm going to be able to beat this level. Okay. Okay, let me... Oh, no boss? Okay. Okay, I'm going to turn the game up a hair. Okay, this is about kind of in the middle. Yeah, 17 years missed. Okay, this is kind of in the middle of where it was and where I put it. So we'll see if that's... That one's a beefy boy. Okay. Alright, yep. I was correct about being able to get through this game in like an hour. Yeah, because... Yes, I've been kind of pausing. I had my long... There was the bit of getting the game set up at the beginning, and then my long soliloquy. Yeah, no, that seems about accurate. Yeah, depending on how long this takes, I might pull that code up again and play level 0 just to see what that's like. Super Dragon. Oh my. How is that thing flying? That doesn't look comfortable to wear that while flying. God damn it. Okay, glad that's good. Okay, there's got to be a phase 2. It's the final boss. It would be shocking if there wasn't a phase 2. Heck, it'd be shocking if there wasn't a phase 3. What? Okay, there we go. What the fuck? What just happened? Seriously? That was it? That was probably that final boss was probably the easiest one so far, other than... Huh. So you can't tell me that the bosses can't... You know, that they couldn't do multi-phase boss fights or whatever, because one of the boss fights that we did had 2 phases. Oh, goodbye, dragon. Yeah, I mean, again, I knew this game was was super short, but that was really short. I mean, again, this game was released in 1995, so there was still very much the mentality of games were meant to be more arcade-like in nature. Epilogue? Okay. That's interesting. Having concept art for the end credits. Is there... Yeah, okay. Yeah, I was only 4 when this game was released. That's part of the reason I wanted to revisit this game, is because I saw, or not revisit, or try this game out. The secret, okay. Because I saw it, like a gameplay demo setup of it. At a game store. Because I saw it once at a game store, And I'd always just been curious about it ever since. Okay. Okay, so hold on. Up, up, down, down, down. Left, right, left, right, left, right. No. Up, 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 down, down, down. Left, right, left, right. Well, okay, just quick. Let's see, I caught Clay's live stream because I couldn't sleep when she was playing Genshin. I thought it would be fun. Despite the negative stuff I've heard. I'm just gonna download it until I saw it even. It's a big game. I really like Genshin, and I did do like 2... Oh, the cheat code 0. Okay, let's try that again. Yeah, can't get it to work. But you just kind of quickly reading it, it was saying that it's basically just a non-stop shooter mode. So I'm like, I think I'm going to pass on that since I don't really think it's going to really bring much to the stream. So I think I'm going to end the stream here. Yeah. It's like that was something that has been living rent-free in my brain for 30 years, so it was kind of nice that I finally got to experience it, at least in some capacity. It would have left a much bigger impact if I actually got to play it back when it was new, back when games like this were still exciting, but I can't complain. Yeah, I have time. I think I might start up. Let's quickly check to see if the poll has changed. Wrong poll. Yeah, no, looks like Super Mario RPG has won. So that is what I will be streaming next. So, yeah. Yeah, I am going to wrap this up here, and I'm going to get set up, yeah, and I'm going to get set up to stream Mario RPG, so if you want to tune in for that, I'll see you in a bit. Otherwise, I'm not sure when, but I'll see you then. Bye.